Hello students, welcome back. So in previous video you studied about the general characters of algae, isn't it? So where you studied the concepts like the occurrence of algae, thallus organization in algae, then cell structure of algae, so and also about the reproduction in algae, isn't it? So there are various concepts we discussed in the last class. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the next concept in algae. So that is about the classification of algae. Classification of algae. Classification. Okay. See, algae they were mainly classified. There are various taxonomies. They have classified algae in various ways. Okay, but the most accepted kind of classification that is mainly based on the pigmentation found in the algae and also based on the reserve food material. Mainly classified based on the pigmentation and reserve food material. So pigmentation is nothing but the color, the cells, the algal cells color. That is mainly what type of pigment they are having. Suppose if they are having dominant chlorophyll A pigment and chlorophyll B pigment, it means the green colored pigments, they were classified as green algae. Suppose if they have the brown color dominant like fucoxanthin, so where they are considered as brown algae, and suppose if the algae they are having phycoerythrin in dominant amount, so where they are named as red algae. So mainly the algal cells were classified on the basis of pigmentation. It means the pigments they are having inside their cells, inside their chloroplast. Okay, so that is a major criteria for classification, and the most accepted kind of classification is given by Smith. Okay, so he gave the accepted types of classification about algae. Okay, so earlier there is a classification that it includes like algae. Still today also the same system is following, like chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, then Rhodophyceae, Basilarioophyceae, Xanthophyceae, like that. There are 5 classes, different classes were seen in algae. Even Cyanophyceae, that is also included in algae earlier. Okay, but the modern taxonomies they have classified, they have separated Cyanophyceae from algae and they placed under the kingdom Monera. So where the Basilarioophyceae or the Xanthophyceae, where you have studied in the kingdom Protista because of unicellular nature, the golden brown algae. Okay, so where you have studied under the Protista. So, but majorly there are 3 classes you are going to study here. One is the green algae, commonly known as green algae, brown algae and red algae. That is Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae members. Okay. So, I said the major basis for classification is the pigmentation of the algae. On that the classification is made. Okay. So, the algae, I said there are 5 different classes or even more than that. Among that the major ones are Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. So later Basilarioophyceae and Xanthophyceae, even Cyanophyceae earlier I said included in algae. Okay. So but the major ones are the 3 classes like Chlorophyceae, then Phaeophyceae, and the next one is Rhodophyceae. Okay, so these are the 3 major classes which are found in the algae, classified mainly based on the pigmentation. It means the color, the pigment they are having. Okay, so let us look into the first one. So and also the common names of these classes. Chlorophycean members are commonly called as green algae, whereas the Phaeophycean members are known as brown algae, and the Rhodophycean members are called as red algae. Commonly they are known as red algae. Okay. So let us look into the brief characters of these members, like individual ones like Chlorophyceae, Rhodophyceae and Phaeophyceae. Okay. So the first groups of algae, the Chlorophycean members. Okay. See, Chlorophycean members, as I said, they are known as green algae. So majorly because of the presence of the pigment, that is what is called as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a predominant pigment here. Okay. So there are different types like A, B, C, D and E. Chlorophyll A, B, C, D and E. But here the chlorophyll is a predominant pigment when compared with the other pigments like carotenoids and xanthophylls, okay, or phycobilins. But all other pigment is masked by the chlorophyll. That's why these algae they looks green in appearance. Okay, that's why these Chlorophycean members are commonly called as green algae. They have a dominant pigment, that is what is called chlorophyll, especially that too chlorophyll A. Okay, and there are around 7,000 different species of Chlorophycean members are discovered yet. Okay, so Almost all of the species, nearly 90% of the species of chlorophycin members, they are freshwater forms. Okay, they are majorly found in freshwater. Okay, only few species, around 10% of the species, or very few species, they are marine forms. Okay, they are not found in freshwater, but dominant number of the chlorophycin members, algae, green algae, they are found in freshwater forms. Okay, see the thallus of these members, that ranges from unicellular form to the thallus ranges from unicellular form. I have discussed about thallus organization in algae in general, isn't it? So that is from unicellular to colonial, filamentous, then siphonaceous thallus, parenchymatous thallus, like that. Here, the thallus organization where some of the cells are unicellular. So unicellular means unicellular motile or unicellular non-motile. So for example, the earlier one, unicellular motile Chlamydomonas. Then the latter one, unicellular non-motile like Chlorella. So all these members, they belongs to the class Chlorophyceae. Okay. So similarly, the algae may be colonial. So where we can see colonial green algae like Volvox. Okay, colonial, motile colony. So that's why Volvox, you know that I said it is Cenobium, isn't it? So where Volvox is popularly known as rolling algae. Okay, it is popularly known as rolling algae. So where as it rolls over the surface of the water, okay, because of its nature, so it is just like a ball. It rolls over the surface of water. Hence, it is considered or called as rolling algae. Okay, so Volvox, it is a motile colony. The colony of Volvox is what is called as Cenobium. The colony of Volvox is what is called as Cenobium. Okay, you know that. And the non-motile colony, the Cenobium like Hydrodictyon. Hydrodictyon. Okay, or I said we can see palmilloid colonies also can be seen. Hydrodictyon, Volvox, they are the Cenobial colonies. Okay, so Cenobial motile colony Volvox, Cenobial non-motile colony Hydrodictyon. And also here the thallus may be filamentous also. We can see I said filamentous thallus may be branched, okay, or it may be unbranched. You can see both. Filamentous may be filament branched or it may be unbranched filaments can be seen like Edogonium, Ulothrix and Spirovera. So all these members are the filamentous forms. Okay, somewhat advanced forms can be seen like an advanced form of green algae, what is called as Chara. Okay, so Chara, this is an advanced form of green algae. Okay, so this is about the nature of thallus. Okay, and the major pigment, as I said, the major pigment is the chlorophyll. Okay, so that the chlorophyll A, and they store the reserve food material. See, this question is asked in the examination. Name the pigment and reserve food material of following so and so algae. Like name the pigment and reserve food material of chlorophycin members. Name the pigment and the reserve food material of Phaeophyceae. Similarly, Rhodophyceae. So such questions is asked in the examination for 2 marks. Okay. So the pigment found here, it is chlorophyll, and the reserve food material found here, that is the starch. The reserve food material that is found here, that is the starch. Okay. So these members, where the members of chlorophycin algae, so where their spores are also motile, like zoospores, they are motile. They produce different types of spores while during their asexual reproduction, like zoospores, aplanospores, hypnospores, okay, like that. So the spores are also motile, means the vegetative cells are also motile, the spores are also motile, and the gametes are also motile. Not all, I'm telling not all the algae, but the chlorophycin members, majority. For example, you take Chlamydomonas, where the vegetative cell itself is motile, and the zoospores produced by it, they are motile, and the gametes produced, they are also motile. Even the filamentous algae, they produces the zoospores, they are motile. They produces some motile gametes like Ulothrix or Edogonium. So they produces the filamentous algae, they produce motile gametes and motile zoospores. Okay, means the asexual as well as the gametes, and sometimes in some unicellular algae there may be motility can be seen. So for that motility, they possess flagella. For that motility, they possess flagella. Okay, so like this, once you see a cell of a Chlamydomonas, okay, so where you can observe flagella, like this, there are 2 flagellas can be seen here, 2 flagellas, and these flagella get attaches to a structure. It attaches to a structure, that is what is called as blepharoplast. Blepharoplast. Okay, so this is the structure to which the flagella get attaches. Okay, flagella elige attach agirutte to the structures called as blepharoplast. Okay, and in turn these blepharoplast, okay, in turn they get attaches with the, okay, the nucleus. They are in turn get connected. They are both of them blepharoplasts, they get connected, and in turn they also attaches with the nucleus. Okay, so this is like a locomotor apparatus. Okay, so a locomotor apparatus. So where the two flagella get attaches to the basal bodies, they are what is called as blepharoplast, and even the blepharoplasts are also joined each other, and they are in turn they get connected with the nucleus. Okay, so they have flagella. For locomotion they have flagella. So many vegetative cells, the spores like zoospores and the gametes of these algae, they mainly possess flagella. Okay, so flagella, I said it may be whiplash or it may be tinsel type of flagella. You know what is whiplash and tinsel type of flagella. If flagella surface is plain, it is known as whiplash type, or if the surface of flagella that consists of very minute hairs called as mastigonemes, so where that is what is called as a tinsel type of flagella. Okay, and also I said about the chloroplast in algae, various shape of chloroplast that can be seen, especially in the members of chlorophyceae, like cup-like or girdle-like or reticulate or mesh-like chloroplast that can be seen, or stellate chloroplast can be seen, spiral-shaped chloroplast can be seen. So different types of chloroplast also can be seen in the members, especially in the members of the green algae and even in other algae also. Okay, and these, when we see the reproduction part, so they reproduce both vegetatively, asexually, as well as the sexual reproduction can be seen. Vegetative method of reproduction takes place by means of fission in unicellular forms. Okay, and also by the breaking of colonies in colonial forms. The colonies get splits into many smaller units, and each one can develops into a new colony. So by the fragmentation of the filamentous forms. Okay, so whereas asexual method of reproduction, that takes place by the formation of spores like zoospores, aplanospores, hypnospores, like that. And the sexual method of reproduction, that ranging from isogamous to oogamous, isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous method of sexual reproduction. It means all the three types of sexual reproduction can be seen in these members. Isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous method of sexual reproduction can be seen. Okay, so where the zygote is produced, once the zygote is produced, then here the zygote undergone meiosis. The zygote will undergo meiosis, and where it results in the formation of haploid plant body. Again, the haploid plant body is produced by the meiosis of the zygote. Okay, it results in the formation of a haploid plant body. Okay, so this is about the general characters of chlorophyceae. They are commonly known as green algae. Their main pigment is chlorophyll and the reserve food material is starch. Okay, so some examples of green algae like chlorella, then chlamydomonas, then the other examples like zygnema, then hydrodictyon, then volvox, Ulothrix, etc. Edogonium, then Spirogyra, etc. Okay, so these are some of the examples for green algae or chlorophycean members. Okay, then let us move into the next one, that is the brown algae. Okay, so brown algae, they were known as Phaeophyceae. Okay, so they were commonly known as brown algae because of the characteristic pigment, a brown colored pigment present in them, that is fucoxanthin. Okay, so these members, the brown algae, they are exclusively marine. Forms. Okay, and the unicellular forms are very less, or there are no unicellular forms in brown algae as well as in Phaeophycean members. It means in the red algae. Okay, so but whereas you can see different nature of thallus in chlorophycean members, that is ranging from unicellular to multicellular or filamentous, that can be seen in green algae. But whereas here in brown algae, unicellular forms are reduced. Okay, so majority of them, they are filamentous form and they are larger forms, larger thallus can be seen. So where that thallus that can measures up to meters together. So, for example, like a thallus of a brown algae called Macrocystis, as the name itself suggests, Macrocystis that nearly measures up to 60 meters. The thallus that measures up to, that means that grows up to 60 meters. So that is Macrocystis, a larger algae, and these members they are known as giant kelps because of their larger size. They were known as giant kelps. Okay, so because of their larger size of the algae, so they are known as giant ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಆ ಥರ. So giant kelps ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So because of the larger size of these algae, and also they were known as sea palms. Some of the members are known as sea palms. Sea palms. Some members are known as sea palms, and some even they look like miniature trees. Some of them even look like miniature trees. It means the thallus is larger when compared to the other members of the algae, like the green algae. Here the thallus is larger. So where they are known as giant kelps, they are even some of them they are called as sea palms, and some are known as miniature tree. They look like miniature tree, and some sea palms antandre they look like palm trees. Okay, palm trees antivle coconut and date palms, like that palm trees tara kanutte. So most of them of these brown algae, so they are found along the seashores. They are found along seashores. Okay, in the coastal regions, they are found along the seashores, and they get attaches to the substratum. They get attaches to the substratum. Some of the forms they get attaches to the substratum. So where we can see the two kinds of substratum means the surface to which they get attaches with the help of the structures like holdfast. Okay, so or by means of some rhizard like structures can be seen, where the branches they bear the branches what is called heterotrichous branches. I said what is this heterotrichous branches? Okay, where we can see two kinds of branches. One of the branch that grows horizontally that creeps over the surface of the substratum, horizontally it grows, and another branch that grows vertically, where it produces many number of branches further. Another branch that grows vertically, where it can produce many number of branches further, like this. Okay, so such a type of branching is what is called as heterotrichous branching. Okay, and here the cells of these brown algae, so where they get surrounded by the cell wall is externally surrounded by the mucilaginous sheath. Almost all algae they have mucilaginous sheath, but these members they have a special some gelatinous substances or a mucilage substances they can be seen here. That is, they were collectively known as phycocolloids. Phycocolloids. Okay, there are some special substances, jelly-like substances or mucilage-like substances that can be seen. They were what is called as phycocolloids. So they were that is deposited on the cell wall. Okay, so where we can see the phycocolloids in their cells means the some slimy gelatinous materials there. Okay, so mainly the pigment they have a characteristic brown colored pigment, that is what is called as fucoxanthin. So remember this one, fucoxanthin. This is a brown colored pigment that masks the other pigment found in the cell. Okay, that is the chlorophyll and the other pigments like carotenes and xanthophylls and phycobilins. So they were masked by the dominant pigment what is called as fucoxanthin. That's why they look brownish in color. That's why they are named as brown algae. Okay, this is the pigment found in brown algae, the major pigment found in brown algae. There are other pigments, but this will mask the other pigments. Okay, that's why they look brown in color, fucoxanthin. Okay, and the reserve food material you can see here is laminarian starch. And mannitol. So laminarian starch is a carbohydrate, whereas mannitol is an alcoholic content. Okay, so there are two molecules can be seen here as a reserve food material. One is laminarian starch, another one is the mannitol. So this is the reserve food material of the brown algae. You remember these 2 points. One is the pigment, another one is the reserve food material found. Okay, so the brown algae they have a reserve food material called laminarian starch and the mannitol. Okay, then So here also these members, they reproduce both vegetatively by means of fragmentation, then they reproduce asexually by producing the spores like zoospores and aplanospores. Okay. So and also they reproduce sexually by producing the gametes. Okay. So even gametes here in these members, they are also motile. Okay. So some examples of this brown algae like Ectocarpus. 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 Then Sargassum. Sargassum. Then Laminaria. Laminaria. Then Fucus. Okay, so etc. So these are some of the examples for the brown algae or Phaeophycean members. Okay. So then the next class is about the red algae. Okay, red algae. Red algae, they were also, red algae is a common name, red algae, and they were named as Rhodophyceae. Rhodophycean members. See, these Rhodophycean members, they are marine forms. No freshwater forms can be seen here. They are marine. Okay. So their ranges from the seashore to the depth of the ocean. They are found ranges from the seashore to up to the depth of the ocean. So where they are distributed, okay, exclusively they are the marine forms. And these members, remember, there are no, the characteristic feature here, there are no flagellated. Usually the male gametes are non-motile here. No flagellated male gametes. No flagellated male gametes can be seen here. Okay. But in the other members where male gametes are motile, they possess flagella. Two types of flagella. Okay, whiplash and tinsel type of flagella. But these members where in Phaeophycean members, in Rhodophycean members, the male gametes are non-motile. Remember this thing. Then they have a characteristic pigment. You remember, this is very important. The characteristic pigment found is phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin, this is a red colored pigment. This is a pigment found in red algae. That's why they look red in color. Phycoerythrin, and they have the reserve food material what is called as Floridian starch. They have a reserve food material that is what is called as Floridian starch. Floridian starch is a reserve food material, whereas phycoerythrin, it is the pigment found in red algae. Okay, so this is the pigment phycoerythrin, whereas Floridian starch, this is the reserve food material found in the red algae. Okay. So these forms the Rhodophycean members. Okay, so they reproduce by vegetative method, asexual method, as well as by means of the sexual method. Okay, so during their asexual method of reproduction, they produce some spores like the asexual method of reproduction. So where they produce some spores like carpospores and monospores. Monospores and tetraspores. Okay, carpospores, monospores and tetraspores. So they are the asexual spores where we can see in the members of red algae. Okay, so where the plant body majorly, okay, this is the diploid one, what is called as a tetrasporophyte. The diploid plant body, it means that it is having two sets of chromosome. Andre 2 set chromosome irutte. Okay, so the tetrasporophyte that produces tetraspores. It produces tetraspores by means of meiosis. Okay, there will be a meiosis during the formation of tetraspores. Okay, where the plant body that produces, it is a diploid one, and it produces the spores. What is called as tetra means 4. Andre 4 spores anna produce ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. It produces a spores what is called tetraspores by means of meiosis. Okay, so where these tetraspores, where they germinates into, they produces male and female plants. Okay, male and female gametophytes. Okay. Okay, so the plant body is diploid here, that is what is called as tetrasporophyte, and this will undergoes meiosis. That produces the spores, 4 spores, what is called as tetraspores by means of meiosis. 2 of them they produces the male, and the 2 of them they produces the female thallus. Okay, so again the male thallus that bears the male sex entities here, they are what is called as spermatia. The male thallus that bears the antheridia, so where it produces the sex organ, and where it produces the non-motile they are not movable, they are non-motile structures, they are what is called as spermatia. Similarly, the female plant body, this is look like somewhat complicated, but it is very easy once you understand, where it reproduces asexually by producing carpospores, monospores and tetraspores. So whereas the tetrasporophyte, the diploid plant body, that produces, I am telling about the sexual reproduction, okay, that produces the tetraspores by means of meiosis, and these tetraspores sexual. These tetraspores where they germinate undergone meiosis, and where they produces the male and female plant body. The male plant body that produces the male sex organs antheridia, and where it bears the spermatia, they are non-motile ones. And whereas the female plant body that produces carpogonium. Carpogonium. This is a female sex organ. Okay, this is the female sex organ, the carpogonium. So whereas this carpogonium, where that encloses the egg, where it encloses the egg. Okay, so where this spermatia, the male sex entities, that nothing but the like male gametes and the egg, they fuse together forming the zygote. Okay, zygote. This zygote is diploid here. So unlike the other algae, here zygote doesn't undergo meiosis. You remember this thing. Okay, zygote here it do not undergo meiosis. Meiosis, it has taken place already. That is during the development of the tetraspores. Okay, it has already taken place. It means once in a life cycle meiosis takes place. Okay, but not always. So where the spermatia, the male gametes as well as the egg that develops within the carpogonium. Okay, so where they both of them, they together develops into the fusion that develops into zygote. Okay, so where the zygote further that develops into carposporophyte. It develops into another diploid structure, what is called as carposporophyte. Okay, it develops into another diploid structure, what is called as carposporophyte. Idu diploid ene. Okay, yadrinda develop aaytu zygote inda. Okay, carposporophyte, and this carposporophyte, it produces the diploid carposporangium. Produces diploid carposporangium. Okay, this is the spora structure that bears the carpospores. Carpospores are produced madanta structure. This carposporangium that produces the carpospores. Carpospores means these carpospores are diploid here. Carpospores are diploid here, and these diploid carpospores, they develops into tetrasporophyte. They germinates and develops into tetrasporophyte. You observe haploid structures yadadili, male and female gametophytes haploid, spermatia is haploid, then egg is haploid. Okay, so see here we can see different kinds of forms here. One is tetrasporophyte, andre onde organism na life cycle alli different forms can be seen. Andre for example, if you take Polysiphonia, a red algae, in that Polysiphonia, I am giving example, Polysiphonia, in that we can see different forms. The life cycle includes different forms like tetrasporophyte, then male and female gametophytes, so then carposporophyte. See, 3 different forms can be seen. This is what is called triphasic life cycle. 3 phases can be seen here. That's why the life cycle is what is called triphasic life cycle. Triphasic. Okay, so this is somewhat complex. Okay, where the life cycle that bears the 3 forms. One is the diploid tetrasporophyte, and another one is the gametophytes, and another one is the carposporophyte. Among the 3 phases, you observe here, the 2 phases are diploid. That is the tetrasporophyte and carposporophyte, they are diploid here. Only one stage is haploid, that is male and female gametes and tetraspores. These 2 are haploid. Okay, so whereas the gametes are also haploid, the zygote, carposporophyte, carpospores and tetrasporophytes, they are diploid in nature. Okay, among the 3 phases, 2 phases are diploid. Only one phase is haploid. That's why life cycle can be also considered as diplohaplontic. Okay, and the major phase is diploid phase. Major ಆಗಿ diploid phase ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. So life cycle of algae next classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ after completion of plant kingdom, life cycle of different plants like bryophytes, pteridophytes, then angiosperms, gymnosperms ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ algal life cycle ನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, haplontic, diplotic, haplodiplotic. So then triphasic life cycle. Triphasic ಅಂದ್ರೆ I said 3 phases, 3 phases ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು tetrasporophyte, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು gametophyte, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು carposporophyte. So ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ, the tetrasporophytic plant body where that produces tetraspores by means of meiosis, right? A kind of spore. Okay, and Out of 4 spores, 2 of them they develops into the male gametophyte and the remaining 2 they develops into female gametophyte. The male plant body produces the male gametes, what is called as spermatia. It bears a male sex organ called antheridia, that bears the spermatia. Okay. Whereas the female plant body that produces the female sex organ, what is called carpogonium. Okay. And this carpogonium that encloses the egg. Egg is nothing but the female gamete. Remember, the sperms are the male gametes in rhodophycean members. They are non-motile. Okay, they do not move. So where the sperm and the egg they fuse together, it means the spermatia they reaches the carpogonium. So where it fuses with the egg, and it will produces the diploid structure, what is called as the zygote. And this zygote do not undergo meiosis. Remember, it doesn't undergo meiosis unlike other algae. So where zygote that develops into another diploid form, that is what is called carposporophyte. Okay, and this carposporophyte develops carposporangium, that is also diploid. And the carposporangium that encloses or that produces the carpospores, they are also diploid. And the carpospores on germination produces the tetrasporophyte. So the life cycle the same repeats. As it involves 3 distinct phases in the life cycle, the life cycle is what is called as triphasic life cycle. Okay. So this is about the rhodophycean algae. Okay. So remember, the major pigment is phycoerythrin and the reserve food material is Floridian starch. No motile gametes can be seen here. Male gametes are especially, and even they express advanced type of sexual reproduction, that is oogamous type. So once it is said to be oogamous, where female gametes are non-motile. Okay. But male gametes here, male gametes are also non-motile in nature. So there are different forms. Exclusively they are marine. Exclusively they are marine. No freshwater forms. Okay. So examples, some examples like Porphyra, then Batrachospermum, Porphyra, Batrachospermum, then Polysiphonia, then Gelidium, etc. Okay, Porphyra, Batrachospermum, Polysiphonia, Gelidium, etc. See this one, the Gelidium. This is a red algae from which the agar is extracted. Okay, agar is extracted. Agar, this is a solidifying substance. Okay, so this solidifying substance, it is extensively used in microbiology. So for culture of bacteria. Okay, for culture of bacteria and fungi. Fungi grow ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು PDA ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ potato dextrose agar ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So basic media component ಇದೆ ಅದು agar. Mainly ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ solidify ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Agar is a nutrient agar ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಗಾರನ್ನ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಗಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಫಂಗಲ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ is mainly nutrient agar anta kariತೀವಿ. That agar is a solidifying agent. It solidifies. Okay. Even upon heating, even upon 100 degrees Celsius ಅಲ್ಲಿ heat ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it solidifies. Okay. So that's why this is the best material, the agar that was extracted from a red algae, that is what is called as Gelidium. Okay. Similarly, algae they have various useful aspects also. So like for example, cyanobacteria, spirulina. So nowadays you heard about the spirulina capsule, isn't it? So that is rich with the protein content, spirulina. So then other algae can also be useful. For example, chlorella, an algae called chlorella, where an antibiotic that has extracted from the chlorella is what is called chlorellin. Chlorellin, this is very effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Chlorellin, okay, effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Extracted, this is an antibiotic. Extracted from a green algae, what is called as chlorella, and this chlorella, it is extensively used in research work. It means it will be ಒಂದೇ ಸೆಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್, ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ chlorella. Okay, so then an antibiotic extracted what is called as chlorellin. So then algae can be used as food. So it can be used as fodder. The larger algae that they can be used as fodder. Okay. So similarly, like from the species of Laminaria, so where sodium, a substance called as sodium laminarium, laminarian sulfate is isolated from the species of Laminaria. You know that this is a brown algae. From Laminaria, a substance called as sodium laminarian sulfate is extracted. This can be used as anticoagulant. Anticoagulant. It means it can prevent blood clotting. Okay. Coagulation antandre, that is nothing but the clotting of the blood. So where the sodium laminarian sulfate, this can act as an anticoagulant. And it can be used as a medicine. It prevents blood clotting. Okay. So, and even harmful aspects also can be seen by means of algae. So that is by the luxurious growth of an algae in a water body. I said it causes the algal blooms or water blooms. That depletes the oxygen level in the water body, and it will be fatal for the other living organisms found in the water. Okay, so that is the harmful aspect of algae, and it makes water unsuitable for consumption. So like the cyanobacteria that grows in algae, like in water body, like microcystis, so where it can secrete strong toxic substances to water. So such water cannot be consumed. Okay, it will be fatal. So that is the harmful aspects of algae. It is having both the useful aspects as well as the harmful aspects. Okay, so that is about the algae. So where you have studied about the general characters of algae and also about the classification of algae. So there are three major classes can be seen. So one is Chlorophyceae, Rhodophyceae and Phaeophyceae. Remember, Chlorophycean members based on classification mainly based on the pigmentation. Chlorophycean members where the pigment is chlorophyll and the reserve food material is starch. Whereas the Phaeophycean members, they are commonly called brown algae. Pigment is fucoxanthin, a characteristic brown colored pigment, fucoxanthin, and the reserve food material is the laminarian starch and mannitol. Okay, a carbohydrate, and another one is an alcohol content. So then the Rhodophycean members, so where the reserve characteristic pigment is phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin is a red colored pigment, phycoerythrin, and the reserve food material is floridian starch. Okay, so this is about the algae, and also I forget to tell about the algal study is what is called as phycology. Phycology, the study of algae is what is called phycology. Okay, or algology anta karitare. So the study of algae is called as phycology, and the person who is specialized in algal studies, they are known as phycologist. Okay, so this is about the first aspect in the plant kingdom, that comes under the Thallophyta, algae. Okay, so where we have completed that algae. So in upcoming video I explain the other concepts like the Bryophyta. I take with the Bryophyta. Okay, thank you.